haven't started recording it yet. So I just started recording. So hi, I'm Steve. So again, disclaimer, just so it's on the recording. We will help with SEO, but we are not going to bring you millions of leads. We are a sales tool first. So I'm glad I remembered to record. So it is recording now. In the chat box, please share anything that you have, good, bad, ugly, great, whatever. We love all comments. If you're leveraging some of our practices that I'm going over and you want to share some of your own stories or experiences with Project Map It, please put it in there. Engage if you wanted to sign up for Engage or any other companies that we work with. Talk about it in the chat box. Feel free. And let's get going. So the agenda today is kind of what helps drive SEO. So this is going to be talking about our product. I know a lot of you want to know how to write project descriptions and best practices there, and also post to Google Business Updates if you are not doing that. Those are all things that you can do with our system. But what helps drive SEO is going to be the first thing we talk about. How do reviews impact SEO? We're building out a review thing now that many of you should know about at this point, but we'll talk about that. To chat GPT or not to chat GPT. I use the crap out of chat GPT. We love it here at Project Map It, to be totally honest with you. So I'll go over that a little bit. We're going to talk about the Google Business integration and writing project descriptions. So let's just get into it. So how does man, Bobby, you're already coming up with questions. You have your mics muted on your side, correct? And I just heard the recording notice. Yeah. Can everybody hear me though? Two questions. Okay. So people can hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. How does Project Map It help boost your SEO? These are the things that Project Map It can do to help increase your online presence. The first thing is adding it correctly to your website. I just spent hours and hours and hours updating our CRM. You all probably can understand what I'm about to say for those that use CRMs and try to migrate and stuff like that. I've spent tons of hours updating our CRM with all of our customers, like 500 plus customers. And in doing so, can you put it on mute, Pat? In doing so, I looked at lots of websites. Many of you have it on your website, but you don't have it on your website the way I would recommend. It's your website. You're the boss. You do what you want, but I have some recommendations there. But adding it to your website can help with SEO. And this is why, right? Like the longer somebody is on your website, engaging on your website, the better your SEO is. Well, we're an interactive mapping tool. So if somebody goes to your website and lands on our page where you have Project Map It living, they will interact with it. On average, I think it's about 1.5 minutes or more that people are seeing people interacting with our map. So think about like the fact that we are an interactive tool. People can play around with it. So the more information you can put about how to use the tool on there, so a homeowner goes, they're not just looking. A lot of you have just your map on there, and we'll talk about that without any kind of written directions or whatever. You want to have a hook. You want to bring people to the map. The longer they stay on our map, on your website, the better your SEO is. Getting reviews. It's one of the number one ways to increase your online presence, your SEO. We're all trying to find ways to get better leverage to those Google algorithms. Our system can do that because our system can help you get reviews. We have an email system now that's averaging about 40 to 60% of reviews being actually filled out. I did a number, I think it was 45 or 60. I think it was 45 reviews from John McClung Roofing out of, I don't know if Darian's on or not, but out of North Carolina. Since they've used us 5 months ago, they've gotten 40 reviews, right? And they're using our email system to capture reviews. Writing the project descriptions and letting the public profile page. All of you have a public profile page. Hopefully you know that. And if you don't, we're going to look at what that looks like and how you can update it to do the work for you in the background. So that's the project descriptions. The project description writing that we're going to go over today, those project descriptions are indexed into this landing page, if you will. That's Project Map It's platform. And in the background, it can just do a lot of work for you. And then how to post your Google business profile. Like that is a key thing, right? I always ask people, do you post to Facebook? Do you post to LinkedIn? And they all raise their hand. And then I say, do you post to your Google business profile? And nobody raises their hand. I know some of you are, which is great, or your marketing agencies are posting for you, which is great. We do have a direct integration with your Google business profile that we're going to cover. So let's talk about ways to bring traffic to your website. And so these are some considerations that I'd like you to all think about. Is it added to your site correctly and most effectively? I'm going to show you some websites that I think do a good job on that. Making sure you have a call to action button on your map, which is also in other places. So we're going to talk about where that is found. So I'm going to actually just stop and not talk about these other bullets. I'm going to talk about the first two. So
share your screen, Steve.
Am I not sharing my screen?
No.
I can see that I'm sharing my screen. Can everybody else see my screen? Yeah, I think you're not seeing my screen.
Okay.
Okay, good. Okay, thank you, everybody. Because I can see that I can see my screen here. All right, so on your website, there are two places. This is how we recommend putting it on your website. The first thing is on your home page, putting an image, which I think a lot of you have, right? Like, I really like the roofing company of Tampa Bay. They have a really cool, clean way of promoting Project Map It. If you look at this image, it's kind of a hook, right? Like if I'm a homeowner and I'm just browsing through and I see something like this, that kind of like that grabbed my attention. Now I'm going to read over here what it says, right? And then there's a call to action button. So I think some of you are putting in, this is not for selfish biased reasons. Some of you are putting this all the way at the bottom of your home screen. Well, a lot of people don't scroll all the way to the bottom. So if you think Project Map It can help you get seen online better or give you a reputation that a homeowner might be like, wow, look at all those jobs they've done in the Tampa area or wherever you are, maybe consider putting this banner image somewhere closer to the top of your website. These guys do a nice job. So a nice image that gives you sort of a hook. Whether this is a hook or not, I don't know. But here's another one that I just found today, actually, when I was looking through some stuff. It's a little further down than I'd like. Like this is one where it's almost towards the bottom. So I would recommend maybe moving this banner up, but I really like this. I just ran into this company, Superior Group Roofing and Design. So Perla must have sold them, but I really like this. If you're on Superior Group, I love the way you've promoted this. I would again recommend maybe moving it more towards the top, but maybe that's just because I'm biased. So put it where you want, but end of the day, you want to have a clear, hook, whether that hook is something cool that you're saying here that's going to grab the attention. Maybe it's the image that's the company. So the first thing is adding an image to your homepage. And then the next two are where it lives on your page. So having something that gives them an idea, right. So some of you might have Project Map It on a dedicated page like this, but you have nothing that explains kind of what it is. Shorter the better, things like that. But it says filter our work by locations. It tells you kind of found at the top right, look at the pins, the maps will change. It's kind of giving you an idea of how this mapping platform works and what they're looking at, right? What the homeowner is looking at. Here's another one. Schroeder Roofing, I just sold them not too long ago, and they really onboarded quickly. For those that don't realize, like you have the ability to put a house icon now, or even your logo. Logos are a little tricky, but I think there's some realtors on here. I think it'd be pretty cool to put a house instead of a pin, but that's another webinar. But again, what they did was they kept it short and sweet. From our hack, use the filter buttons at the top right. So short and sweet sometimes is nice. Now, to give you some inspiration, I did create, and I used ChatGPT for this, everyone. So for the image on the homepage, consider putting something like the goal is to hook the homeowner to want to check out your map. Here are a couple of them. These are the two I just showed you. Here are different things you could put on that image on the homepage, right? So again, you can copy word for word any of this stuff, or if you'd rather, switch it up a little bit, but use this as inspiration. If you feel like you need to update your website a little bit with some more catchy stuff, dive into our world of wow, things like that. Consider if you scroll down this is where it's on the dedicated page that has the map. So again, here are some things that you could consider, this is called a header one nav. So putting a nice big bold thing to catch the eye of the homeowner. Also adding, navigate through the portfolio, click the filter buttons. So these are all just different ways that you can add that. Can all be found right here. So if you click on any of these buttons, website, template, that's a PDF, that's a Word document. This is a PDF document. It's the same exact document as what I was just showing you, this stuff here. So you can download this document yourself just by clicking on this. And again, if you scroll in the chat up a little bit, you'll see the link to this deck. Some other ways that I think are pretty cool to think about is, right, like creating a QR code that I believe should probably be taken to your website, meaning a yard sign, right? If you're using yard signs in your company, maybe put a QR code that says view our past clients. And that QR code takes you directly to your website. The map itself, just to be very clear, here's our map that we're going to be using today. The map itself has its own unique URL. It's right down here on the bottom left. If I click on that, it says the URL is copied. So that is the link. If I open up a new tab on my window, that is the URL link to the map, right? So you could put that as a QR code. However, we recommend putting it to your website where Project Map It lives. Why? Because you always want to drive traffic to your website. Rule 101, right? Like, let's get traffic to your website. Some of you don't have this. Some of my old school customers that have been around for a long time, you haven't updated your map. See this button right here? Everything about our system now is geared towards, again, driving traffic to your website. So you can click a button. You can click this call to action button if someone were ever to find our map on an organic search, and it's going to take you directly to, in this scenario, Glick Exteriors out of Pennsylvania, where they can fill out a form and get a schedule an appointment right then and there on the spot. The call to action button, the same button, is on every single pin. So I can click on a pin and there's that button right there. All of you have what's called a PPP page, public profile page. This is what everybody's public profile page looks like. Again, there's that call to action button. If I scroll down a little more, you've got information where you can, email, call, do anything that you need. Okay. This is the page that really is indexed into the search engine optimization part of our component of our product. We're going to talk about this page again in a second. Okay. So if we think about those, what I was saying with QR codes. So I had a company that is doing a truck wrap, and he's like, hey, Steve, I'm going to put a QR code of your map. Where do you find the link to the map? And I said, you should probably put a link to your website. And he was like, okay, I will. You're right. But they're putting a QR code on his truck wrap. I'm going to make sure I post that on social media soon. Yard signs, put a QR code. Home shows. We recently had Pinnacle Roofing of New England, Pinnacle Roofing and Skylights. They had a big home show that I know a lot of you do. And on their big, huge banner right in the middle, nice and huge, was an image of their map. And Scott Olson, the owner, said, a ton of people went up to him at the home show and said, man, you've done a lot of work in Rhode Island. So that was pretty cool. Some people are starting to really use us in pretty innovative ways, which I love. Obviously, I'm a geek with this stuff. Email signatures, adding it to your email signature and mailers. If you're in a storm restoration or you're a realtor and you send out mailers to specific communities or whatever, consider putting a QR code in that mailer that says, check out our portfolio of clients. Again, I don't want to beat a dead horse because I got a lot to cover, but this is the code, this is the link to your map. Or again, just get the link to where it lives on your website. To build out a QR code, you can go, and a lot of you probably know this already, but you can Google free QR code makers or creators, whatever, and it'll give you a bunch. This is the one I always use. It's called qrstuff.com. And literally you just click on website, you copy the link to your website where the Project Map lives, and you hit enter, and that QR code changes and you can download the QR code. So just some food for thought about, some considerations about how you're pushing Project Map It, different ways that you can bring Project Map It to, customers to your website to look over Project Map It. Now we're going to talk about reviews. Are there any questions, first of all? If there are, why don't we start typing them in there about just website stuff and things like that? Again, this presentation is going to be delivered to you. It was already in there, so I'll post it again at the end. I do want to talk about reviews because reviews are literally one of the number one things. Now, I found a really good article that I liked last night, and it's titled How Google Reviews Influence Your SEO. I would encourage, if you haven't done this already or understand how reviews help with SEO, I would really encourage you to click this button and read it. I'm giving a shout out to the company that wrote this. This is the banner on that article. You can click on great article to read. It'll open up, and then you can click open in browser. Right now, the article's open in the Engage deck. Okay. And then you just click the X button to get out of it. But a summary of the article talked about some of the key things. So I'm going to just go over those real quick. So how Google reviews can influence your SEO. Google prefers, I've always said this in my presentations, but it's not really the star rating that matters. It's the written testimonial that the homeowner leaves that matters. And on top of that, it's your response of that review that matters. So Google search engines, those algorithms, the spiders, the bots, whatever you want to call them, that it's crawling all of your company data, they love, meaning they being the Google algorithms, love written content and consistently updated written content. So on a Google review, it's the written testimonial and your reply to that homeowner that really search engines are crawling that data. And then they list a bunch of things. Really great article. Review velocity, getting reviews consistently. I'll be the first to admit, it wasn't until 2 months ago, Pat can tell you, 2 months ago, I said, we need to make reviews important. We had about 85 at the time. We're up to, I think, 109 now at this point. We're going to look at our Google business later. I think it's 107 or 109. But review velocity, you can't go out and get like 30 reviews right away, right? And then not get another review for 3 months. So what you want to do is, if you can get a review once a month or once a week, two times a week, something like that, the velocity of it, if you get more consistent reviews over the course of weeks, again, Google algorithms will pick that up and say, oh, this company is consistently doing work. They're getting good clients. They're getting good feedback. Look at these reviews. We're going to crawl their data and we're going to rank them a little higher. I read somewhere, I think in this article, maybe it was another article, I did a lot of research. You want to have at least, at minimum, 20 Google reviews, right? And so the review velocity, if you think about it, if your most recent Google review was 3 months ago, you ain't doing nothing for your SEO. Maria, we can talk about that. As far as being indexed into SEO, it's really the page, the SEO page that is being the public profile page that's being indexed. So the map itself is a widget on your website. This page right here is what we have to make sure is indexed. And if anybody really wants me to search and make sure, we can search and see that it is indexed. To be very transparent with you, as always, that's the way we operate. We have a code, not a code issue, but our marketing team rewrote a code to get these pages more higher indexed. If that's a true statement, that's a true statement, but something like that. So we're going to actually update our index in the next 3 weeks, where hopefully the new code that we put out there will help with that public profile page being indexed even better than what it already is. Review diversity. That just means like Google reviews are the best, but I hear a lot of companies will do like Google reviews and then they'll spend a month on trying to get Facebook reviews or Better Business Bureau reviews or Angie reviews, Thumbtack, you name it. Having a diversity of reviews is good. Google algorithms are looking at that. Putting keywords, we're going to talk about keywords real quick after this slide, in your responses. You can't ask, even though this is going to be recorded, I'll just be honest. You can't ask the homeowner, hey, can you please put my name in your Google review? You can't tell them what to write, but like, I don't know if the Google police will be after you and you'll go to Google jail if they find out you asked them. But like for us, Project Map It, we made reviews important. And when we're done our strategy session with the clients, after we onboard them, we ask for a review. And we do say, hey, if you're willing to put an employee's name in that review, that helps us. And we'll talk about why in a second. Engaging with your Google business profile. I never knew this until I read it. And, I think it's true. It seemed like it was from a reputable source. It was this source. So, and it makes sense, right? People are going to see your Google business profile, and everybody, what I mean by Google business profile, to be very clear, is this part. If you're a contracting company and you don't have a Google business profile, you should get one. Hands down, you should get a Google business profile. And essentially what that article is saying is more people will see your Google business profile than your own website. And it makes sense, right? They're Googling, they see your Google business profile. They're looking at some of the posts you've made, how many reviews you have and things like that. And from there, then they might go to your website. So engaging with your Google business profile is like, it's like the same thing. The longer they engage with your website, the better. The more they engage with your Google business profile, the better. Fake reviews. Look, I'm not judging anyone. But I know there are people on this call that have asked their sister to write a review, or their brother's sister to write a review, or their dog's best friend's dog's aunt's uncle's sister to write a review. You don't need to do that. In fact, Google will pick that up. Fake reviews are not worth it. Just get authentic reviews. Eric is a new employee of ours. Eric saw me present and talking about reviews, and Eric was kind enough to leave a review for Project Map It. And he's on this call right now. So I'm not saying anything behind his back, but I looked at him and I said, I love the fact that you wrote us a review. I really appreciate it. Now, can you delete it? And he deleted the review. And the reason is I don't want every review that we have on there is authentic, except one. It was some random schmo that gave me a 3-star and whatever. We won't get into that. So anyway, there is also something called review gating. It's a gray area. There are a lot of review platforms out there, I think, that do this. I think you should read about it. Review gating is one of those things where when the homeowner comes, you give the homeowner a choice to say, hey, would you recommend us or not recommend us? Thumbs up, thumbs down. If they give you a thumbs down, it's going to take them to like a separate form that they can fill out. If you give them a thumbs up, it takes them right. Amazingly, it takes them right to a Google review, right? Like, end of the day, review gating is not actually legal. So that's what review gating means. You're kind of you're checking the customer's temperature out first, and if it looks like they had a good experience, now they're going to take you to a Google review link as opposed to the other way. I usually ask people. I don't know if we have any. Really fast readers. Perla reads things super duper fast, so somebody might have already read this, but this is an actual review. The only difference is I took the company's name out of it and I put my name in it, but everything else is word for word a review. And what I like to ask is, what is wrong with the response? And because we have certain time restraints, and I want to keep you to an hour, I'm going to just explain. So here's a customer that gave him a 1-star negative review. I don't even like to read it, whatever. But we went through our records and we do not see you as a customer. You must have confused us with a different Steve's Roofing Company. Okay. Please be kind and take this review off. The above statement would never happen to our customers. We're a company of integrity. We hope you can find the correct Steve's Roofing Company. Search engine optimizations, the algorithms are reading all of this. Remember, I keep telling you, I'm going to keep saying it. It's about the written components of your company. So that means this part, the review, and this part, the response. Because this person gave you a 1-star with some negative stuff here, and you come down here and you put your company's name not once but twice, algorithms are going to crawl that data and they're going to think 1-star, Steve's Roofing Company, X, that's a negative on your SEO. So to combat that, don't be combative in your answers. Be political, diplomatic, whatever word you want to use. Don't put your name, your company's name, employees' names in your responses. Just keep it pretty direct and to the point. Here's something that nobody ever really realizes, and I've been presenting about reviews for quite a bit lately. Getting a 1-star review is not bad. Google, it actually can help your SEO. And the reason is because it shows that you're human. It shows that you're a company that might have made a mistake, for crying out loud. All of you do a high volume number of jobs and transactions. You're potentially going to get a bad review one time, right? So it's not a bad thing, and it can actually help your SEO because it shows that you're real. Other things when you're replying to a review, answer all of your reviews diligently. We've gotten I think 24 new reviews in the last, month and a half at Project Map It, and I've answered them all, I think, unless somebody left a review recently. So answer your reviews. Again, when you answer them, right? When I'm answering a good review, I'll show you, here's some of our reviews. So here, Pest Control Company right here. Thank you, Erica, first of all, for that. Thanks so much for the kind words. We really appreciate you seeing the value in our tool. You've been so easy to work with, blah, blah, blah. We're happy to hear that you love enjoying the value of building out descriptions of the work you have done. I spelled that wrong. That's actually bad for SEO. I probably should edit that. We cannot wait to continue to collaborate on your profile. What you really should be doing, I didn't do a good job on that myself, but if I go to a newer one, that was a week ago. So we really appreciate it. As soon as you add it to your sales process, your sales team will see that our reputation tool will help you close more deals using an interactive map to showcase. So right there, all of that information, reputation tool, interactive map, showcase your past projects. All of that is strategically written by me because that's what our tool does. And I want to write stuff that SEO search engines are going to look at. So if you're a roofing company or a windows company or a realtor or a home stager or whatever, putting SEO key terms in those responses are always good. Roof replacement, certainteed Atlantic blue roof, although it's called a coastal blue roof now. Getting your employees' names in it is good because it helps showcase that, again, that you're a real company. So if employees' names are popping up in those reviews, that Google algorithms like that. Don't mention your business when responding to a negative review and consistently get reviews. Okay. Because again, algorithms are looking for consistently getting written content about you. Okay. Good. I'm just looking. Thank you for mentioning that last time. I've been responding with those keywords. Cool. All right. Now, just so you know what our system does right now, we do have 3 emails that go out. I recognize that is not like the ideal. Texting's good. The best time to get a review is immediately when the transaction is done. Maybe you're a realtor or a home stager. So transaction, if you're a contractor, when you finish the job and you're at that job site, that's when the customer is at their heightened, elevated state of happiness. That's when you want to capture the review. So sending a review with links is good. Our system, typically it's about a 4 to 9% conversion rate of somebody leaving you a review when you email the request. We get between 40 and 60% of reviews filled out because our system will send out 3 emails. There's information about that. You all should have been trained up on that. If not, we can always do another training on that as well. What we're building out, I just talked to my technology team, my development team yesterday. We are building out the ability to have a in Project Map It. So look on the right-hand side here. In Project Map It, you're going to have the ability to build out a landing page, a public landing page that basically gives the homeowner access to leaving you different reviews. So like I go on social media and all I see is, hey, get a Google review. Hey, get a Google review. Well, the problem is if somebody doesn't have a Gmail account, they can't give you a Google review. So our system is going to allow you to get a page that shows Google. If they don't have Google, maybe Facebook. If not that, they can leave a Project Map It review. Looks like it's going to take about maybe 1.5 to 2 months left. So in about 2 months, be on the lookout for that. We'll probably have a webinar. ChatGPT. So to ChatGPT or not to ChatGPT? That is the question. If you don't know what ChatGPT is, we're going to cover it a little bit. I'm going to use it to show you how to write job descriptions and talk about it. It can help. ChatGPT can help with SEO, and it can help you write good content. It can hurt your SEO if you don't do it the right way, and you can decide for yourself. I'm not going to tell you which way to go. If you want to try it yourself, if you click on this button here and then click open in a different browser, you can create an account. I pay $20 a month because it allows me to never get, sometimes if you have a free version, it'll lock you out. But if you have a paid version, you can always have access to it. I'm going to show you how this works. So I'm not going to go too much into it, but here's the funny thing. I wanted to know last night, I was like, does ChatGPT help or hurt? So what did I do? I did what every human being would do. I went to ChatGPT and I wrote, is using ChatGPT to create posts bad for SEO or good? This page, I'm not going to go over everything. This page talks about why it's good and how ChatGPT can help write good content. And if you go to the next page, it'll tell you, however, there are also potential drawbacks. I'm not going to go over this for time purposes, and I respect everybody's 1 hour. But what I want you to understand is it's in this deck. I want you to read this deck and maybe look through it. I think the next thing is, let's talk about this. So our system has component, right? The first slide was we help collect reviews. That's good for SEO. We're great on a website, which can help for SEO. The other 2 points, I'm going to stuck my middle finger at everybody. The other 2 points are, number one, writing a project description. And then a separate component to that is posting directly from within Project Map It to your Google business profile. We're going to start with just writing a project description. I want to start with showing you the top and the bottom one. Hold on a second. So I'm looking at Bobby Butler. To get the best out of ChatGPT or any other AI, research prompts to get replies that you desire. We're going to talk about that. For instance, 50 words or less, past tense, friendly tone, are all three I use. I love Bobby Butler. You're the man. That's awesome. So Bobby's exactly right. Please look at that, the chat in this in this webinar, and maybe copy and paste that for yourself for later. So in project descriptions, the difference between the top one and the bottom one is the bottom one has blue links. These blue links are backlinks or hyperlinked to websites. So are you looking for credential contractor in, I can't read that word, Rhode Island? Pinnacle Roofing of Skylight. So if I click on that blue link, it's going to take me to their website, Pinnacle Roofing. Down here, check out our company website to learn more about our residential roofing services, right? If you're a contractor, you might have different tabs to show the different types of services you provide. So if I'm writing a project description about a roof replacement that I put on, sorry, that's disgusting. If I'm a roofer and I put on a residential roof replacement, I'm going to put a direct link to my roofing page. If another project I did was a siding job, I'm going to put it to my siding job. If I'm a realtor, I'm going to put it to my waterfront properties page, things like that. Do you mention why it's important to mention someone's name in a review? Yes. Hi, Michelle. Love Michelle. So putting somebody's name in a review shows that you're a human, that your company is real, like you're a human. So Steve Spence did such a great job onboarding me. Google likes that because Google sees like, oh, Steven Spence works at Project Map It. Steven Spence is in here. There was a company that actually called Steven Spence out. So this is a real, not a fake review. So adding these links, everybody, this blue link that says Certainty Northgate, that's actually a hyperlink to another company. Certainty is a type of roofing manufacturer, a company that builds roof materials and roofs. So backlinking it to products that you use. If you're an HVAC company, Goodman and Bosch, if you're an electrical company. So you all have different vendors that you use, and those vendors have websites, and those websites get tons of traffic, right? So it's important for you to sometimes even backlink to other reputable websites that are getting tons of traffic. Okay. So backlinking it is huge. If you just write a description, it's going to be better than not backlinking. But remember, our system works when you're backlinking. We want people to come to your website. And by doing that, all of our pins on a map, so every pin on a map is like this pin is indexed into Google search engines, right? There's the button right there, copy link to clipboard. So I can do that. Every single one of these 1,512 pins has its own unique URL. Over time, like a website, the longer you're using Project Map It, the better your SEO becomes. It's the same with Project Map It. The more your links are being indexed into Google and things like that, the more SEO you could be getting, right? So let's talk now about project descriptions. To write a project description, you're going to go into projects.
Hold on 1 second, Steve. Let's answer some of these questions real quick.
Oh. Should be using those hyperlinks to everything you can, like your GB. Yes, Chris. So you can hyperlink it to your Google reviews. I'm going to show you a cheat sheet, if you will, in a second about how to do this. I think there's got to be a way that we can make it easier for you. So I feel like we got to evolve this written description, make it a little easier on your end. Maybe we will get there sooner than later, but backlinking it to your Google review. So if you're writing a job description, a project description, and you're saying something like, hey, look at the 400 plus reviews we have, backlinking it to your GBP is a great idea. So absolutely. And then backlinking or mentioning the big guys doesn't help them. It doesn't help them only, especially like, so let's take like a contractor, and I think probably the same goes for Zillow, like a realtor. If you're backlinking to Zillow and you have your own Zillow realtor page, well, Zillow gets a crap ton of business, right? People are going there all the time. And if you're backlinking it to your page in Zillow, that's going to help a lot. So these extra backlinkings all kind of work together. So in the certainty thing, backlinking is certainly a good thing. Think about it. If I'm a homeowner, I'm not a roofing person by trade. If I'm a homeowner and I find this project description and I see Certainteed, I might go to Certainteed first, click and look at how great Certainteed is. Now I'm thinking psychologically in my mind, oh, Certainteed is a very reputable company. This company is credentialed, is a credentialed contractor with Certainteed. I think I'm going to use them. Those cards create a QR on your own business card. We're going to talk about that, Brian. Absolutely. Correct. So business cards, in fact, if I had my business card, I think I do, and I don't know if you guys can see me or not, but on my business card in our CRM, we have QR codes on the back of our cards. That takes you directly to my landing page for Steve Spence. All right. So let's get back into writing project descriptions. So I always like to say the first 5, when you click on projects, these 5 always are the first 5 that populate on your landing page. So here's your public profile page, and these are the first 5 right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So making sure your first 5 always have some sort of a description is always a good thing. Please notice you don't need to have 15 paragraphs in a project description. It can be a couple sentences. It doesn't have to be a lot. So I just want to make sure that you all understand that as we get into this. Now, let's say, I don't know, let me go to 100. And actually, so there are filters here. I don't know if all of you know that, but I'm going to go to filters with photos and without a description. So now I have one with a photo without a description. So if I click on that, it shouldn't have a description, and it doesn't. So when you click on the red gear wheel, it brings you to one of 3 tabs. The project details tab is where you, if you scroll halfway down, is where you write the project description. So in this scenario, these are 2 different color shingles. That would never happen, but let's just play it like it was an Atlantic blue roof. So if I wanted to write a project description, again, it doesn't need to be long. You always want to backlink to your website at least once or twice. That's kind of my golden rule. We're going to get NFC cards, Chris, for our review platform in the next 2 months. I can sit here and write a description by myself without ChatGPT. I always like to say in the project descriptions, write what you did, right? We installed God bless, not under pressure, Steve. I can't type under pressure. We installed a roof replacement, good key term there, for our customers in Louisville, Kentucky, right? I see Louisville, I see Kentucky. So we installed this roof replacement for our we used, and then you're going to cite the brand, right? If you're an HVAC company, we installed a 3-ton Bosch HVAC system. So I always like to put kind of where and what you did, the brand that you did, that you used, or some sort of brand or product material that you used. And then I also like to put something that is original, something that happened, right? Like what happened at that site or when you sold that house. Give us something that's like authentic. Search engines are going to love that. And then also think about things like if you're Steve's roofing company, here, I keep using roofing. Let's say you're Steve's pool company. Maybe sometimes people think of you as Steve's spa company, right? So even though this isn't your actual name, some people might Google you somewhere else. Like, for example, Cornet HVAC. They're really called Cornet Heating and Cooling, but sometimes people search Cornet HVAC. So anyway, the 3 things that I always want you to write are on a slide that I'm going to show you in a second. Now, what you can do is you can use ChatGPT. So here it's, how can I help you today? And so I'm trying to find my notes here. I have some things here. I want to show you kind of real quick how to use it. I already wrote this prompt. Can you help me write a Google update post? Oh, wrong thing. That's Google update post. I'm talking about project description. This is a great one. And I'll tell you why it's great. It's great because it's going to give me something horrible. I've already tested this. So it says, I just installed a new deck for my customers in Arnold, Maryland. Can you help me write a project description that is optimized for SEO that is relevant to decking companies? Include the following: my company name, which is Steve's Decking Company. There's a good story about a family of bunnies that my crew would feed carrots to each day. This is like a small blog of a project. So anything you think would help would be great. Include emojis. Use a friendly tone. Like someone said, I think, whoever that was, big props to you, Bobby, I think. Use a friendly tone, right? Now, if I do that, watch what happens. It's going to give me like literally a blog that's super long. It's going to keep on going, setting the scene. Now, as soon as I did this, I was like, oh, crap, that is not exactly what I want at all, right? It's giving me some emojis. It's writing like a whole freaking story. My bad. This is way too long. Can you just write 3 sentences, please? And ChatGPT will be like, oh yeah, sorry about that. Here you go. Steve's Decking Company probably brings outdoor dreams to life. Okay. Now, this is what I'm talking about when it comes to some things. When you use ChatGPT, you can copy this, right? And you can come over here and you can paste it in there. But look, at the end of the day, like brings outdoor dreams to life. I don't know. That seems kind of ChatGPT-ish. So this helps get you started, but then you want to be authentic, right? Like you might want to change some words around. So the first thing is using ChatGPT, and then you can talk to ChatGPT. Like if it doesn't give you the answer you want, it'll start to learn you. It'll be like, oh yeah, my bad. Here's a more concise version. Sorry, Steve. Okay, I was just looking to see if anybody wrote anything. So I have 10 more minutes. I think I can get this done. This is what I want you to understand though. When you write it, again, it doesn't need to be 3 sentences. It can be 2 sentences, a 1 sentence long. But when you write it, you want to hyperlink stuff. And the way you do that is you highlight what you want hyperlinked and you hyperlink it. Now I'm going to show you something. I'm going to drag something over. Let's see if I can find it. I use a Mac computer. For those that use Macs, understand that there's this thing called Notes. I created a note for Cornet Heating and Cooling. It's a cheat sheet, if you will. And on this cheat sheet, it gives me links to the homepage. It gives me links to the service page on their website. I already predetermined the links to our work page, which is where Project Map It lives. There's a request a service call page, phone numbers. There's all this stuff. These are different things. They're the emojis I can copy and paste, right? I can try to put something together. I think I have something like this for you already. I'll email it to you all. But now if I'm just trying to quickly hyperlink things, again, it's you highlight what you want. And then if I have a cheat sheet, like a Word document or a Google Doc, something, I can just quickly access like, oh, the homepage. I'm gonna hyperlink the homepage this time. So here's something that's a glitch in our system. When I paste it, there it is. I'm going to click save and it's still black. I don't like that it's black. This link should be blue. This TX, for anybody that doesn't know, means remove all formatting. So if I click the TX and click it again and post it again, it becomes blue. Look, it's a glitch. I'm hoping to get it fixed in 2 weeks, but I just wanted to be very transparent with you guys right at the beginning. And then you want to do it a couple times. Like here's where, like Chris Kress, I think said it, read our Google reviews, right? And then I have over here a link to all of the Google, like this is the link to the Google reviews. It's super long. Google review links are long unless you go into your Google business profile. There's a shorter link. Okay. So hyperlinking it a couple times is important. When you do a telephone number, here's my number if anybody wants to text me. You hyperlink it and you say, I want to hyperlink it. So if somebody opens it up on their phone, they can quickly access it. Oops. You click hyperlink, you highlight it. You highlight it. What did I do wrong? You highlight it, you click this, and you put the word TEL in front of it with a colon. That's universal, just so everybody knows. So I can click that and then it saves it. That's project descriptions. Is there a number of hyperlinks per project? No, there's not a number. I like to say hyperlink it to 2 different parts of your company. Maybe it's your Google review page or your Facebook page, or maybe it's your Instagram page. Maybe it's 2 pages on your website. I always like to say, try to do it 2 different times. Yeah, the cheat sheet, Jennifer, is a really good idea. It just makes things quicker. I have some things in my head that I think we could put into Project Map It to make it even easier, but we have a lot going on right now. So that's it. What I always recommend is, look, if I look at this, it'll tell you a couple things. Considerations when writing a description. You don't need a description for every job. Get that out of your mind. Don't worry about it unless you're like super crazy about like making sure everything's done the right way. Hyperlink it to your website at least once or twice. There you go, Jennifer or Lori, whoever, Lori. Add SEO key terms. You can ask your marketing agency, what are key terms? You can ask ChatGPT. Your marketing agency will know the most up-to-date information. Add something original to that job. A snake was in the yard, pop nails on a leaky roof. And when you write it, consider trying to fit the following 3 things in there. Something original. Again, that reverts back to this bullet right here. Your company name or a variation of your company name. Cornet Heating and Cooling, Cornet HVAC Company. Two different ways, but people might be doing it. And then what products you used. Also putting in like the city and state is always good as well. And then the other thing about that is just adding it to your process. These are ways that companies I know of and how they write project descriptions. They either get someone in the office to manage it. So they will watch the videos that we have, or I can share that this will be shared, this webinar, but it's really like log in 15 to 30 minutes a week, like once a week, just log in, spend 30 minutes writing 2 or 3 project descriptions. In the field check-ins. So we are a mobile app. You can certainly, we're not in the app store, but you bookmark it to your phone. So people in the field that are using iPads or phones or whatever, they can write check-ins. It doesn't have to be special. It doesn't have to be great. So they can give, if you think about it, if I'm at the field and I'm putting the roof or I'm digging the trench for the pool or whatever, I'm at an open house as a realtor, you have firsthand experience. So you can write, your people in the field can write those original thoughts that we were talking about. Again, Google loves the authenticity of written descriptions. So in the field, they can write the descriptions. And then when you're back at the office, maybe you just log in and you just go in and put the backlinks in. So like, it's not easy to backlink from your phone. Maybe that's something we can fix too, but maybe in the field, they write the description. They don't need a hyperlink. And then someone in the office just goes back in and hyperlinks. So people do it that way. And then of course, using ChatGPT for inspiration. Now for your Google Business Profile integration and what that means. I've got 7 minutes. I think I can cover most of it. I do want to make sure everybody understands one quick thing. Everybody has access when you log into this online support videos down here. If you click on this, I'm going to show you how easy this is. When you click on it, there's a table of contents. This is one long page. I can scroll through the whole daggone thing. It's got everything on one page. But if you want to just go to Getting Seen Online, if you click this table of content red link, it's going to take you to section 5, Getting Seen Online. That URL right there it will bring your people right to this. So if you want people in the field to start doing stuff, you can send them directly to this link. But there are videos, and here's that cheat sheet. I think how to set up your public profile page, best practices, example. Oh, here's some examples of project descriptions here. Again, that's found in online support videos. And this page literally has everything you guys ever need. Like if you want someone in the office to learn how to add new pins and stuff, your office staff, section 4. It literally takes you through 5 videos. And once you share that with your office staff that you want to manage Project Map It, they'll know. Okay, back to the Google Business Integration. 2 parts. So I want to first of all show you why it does what it does. The first thing is right now I have 109 Google reviews. When I connect to the Google Business Profile, that's this. I connect Project Map It to this. If I get a 110th review, if I get a review today, my system, our system, Project Map It, pings your Google Business Profile at midnight every night. If I have an extra review today, Project Map It pings it at midnight. It sees that you have 2 new reviews and boom, it automatically brings in those reviews. Okay. That didn't used to be the case. And we know a lot of people have not connected to their Google Business Profile because we have a back end that we can see there's a ton of people that have not connected. Guarantee there are a lot of people here that haven't done the following. It's 2 steps to get those automatic reviews pulled in. Step 1 is connecting to the Google Business Profile. Step 2 is resyncing your reviews one time, and then it should work forever. Okay. The other part of the Google Business integration is down here, the updates part. Add an update. So within Project Map It, you can post directly to here. We've been going to Certainty and we've been posting all of our Certainty events here. Okay. So in Project Map It, you can post. Now I'm going to show you everybody. If you're in your Google Business Profile, which I am here, the way you do that is you click on these little dots here. You find your business, you click on the business, Project Map It, and then here is where you can manage it, right? You can add an update in your Google Business Profile as well. So you can go in here and you can add an update and do all sorts of things. Okay. So, but we do have an integration where you can just post it directly from Project Map It over. It takes this part out of the way. So this is what you're going to do. I'm going to show you all how to connect it. I disconnect it. So I'm going to show you. You're going to first go to Integration Partners. You're going to scroll down and you're going to see the Google Business Profile and you're going to click Learn More. When you're here, you're going to click this button and you're going to sign in. So I'll sign in. So it's Steve Spence. Continue. I think I have to hit the continue again. Okay. and it's going to say something like this. You're going to click at Steve Spence. And when you do that, you've connected it, but there's another step you have to do. You have to select down here. Notice now there's more stuff on this page. You have to select your business. A lot of you might have more than one GBP, Google Business Profile. You can select multiple boxes. You click Save Locations. Okay. Create a library of URLs. I'm going to be like 5 minutes over my hour. So if you have to leave, I apologize. Create a library of URLs. When you post to here, there's a call to action button that says learn more, right? Learn more. There's another call to action button that we use. It's called call now. There's another call to action button. So what you want to do is you want to create a library, predetermined links to your website or to your Google Business Profile, like Chris Kress, I think, was saying, or other things, your Facebook page, whatever. You can create as many as you want. I have another cheat sheet. Sorry, I'm trying to find it real quick. Yeah. So I have a cheat sheet. I'm going to use Tar Heel Construction Group as an example. They always let me. So I'm going to build out a library. So here's their homepage. And I'm going to label it homepage. I'm going to add a URL. This is an exterior remodeling company. So here is their, oops, oh, I just did it. So here's their roofing page. Paste the link. I'll call it roofing page. There is, I'll just do one more for time's sake. Here's their siding page. I'm going to click add. So you can add as many links as you want. So there's the URL to his website, and we'll call it siding page. Again, you can put whatever you want in here. Google, Facebook, Instagram page, whatever you want. Now I'm going to click Save Library. Yes, Olivia, you can rename, you can't rename them, but what our system now does, and it was a location, it was a thing we just updated, it should give the city and state of your location. So you may want to, I don't know if you want to disconnect and reconnect or what. We can look. We talk to me offline and we'll try to figure that out. But it should be able to show you your company name in the city for those that have multiple business locations. So I'm going to save the library. Okay. So what you've done now is you've now connected to your GBP. Now, the second step for the review part, you have to go to reviews one more time. You want to synchronize reviews. You want to choose the source, Google, click synchronize, and it's going to take you through some of the same types of prompts. I'm going to log in under my Google, click continue, Steve Spence. I want to bring in my Project Map It reviews, import, and down here, it's going to say how many reviews I imported. It should say it's 4 because I only got 4 new ones since. 2 steps, everybody. If you do that, step 1, follow this. There's a here under online support videos. If you don't remember everything I just said, just scroll down to section 1 and watch this video right here. It'll take you through everything I just said. Okay. Now, what does all of that mean? Well, if I'm in projects and I'm in that same exact project I was in before, I have to have at least one picture. So there's my one picture. And then I'm going to go to my tab that says Google Business Profile. I'm going to come down here. I'm going to say, you know what? This was a siding job that I did. So the call to action, I'm going to, instead of call now, I'm going to say learn more. And I'm going to click on here and I'm going to say, I'm bringing that to my siding page because it was a siding job, right? And this, I shouldn't be using this one. It doesn't matter. I'll just delete it later. So now you're writing your post. Again, you can use ChatGPT. So I have a realtor, just so that I'm being diverse here. I can write a prompt that says something along the lines of my realty company, the PCS Home Team, shout out, just sold a waterfront property in Annapolis. Can you help me write a Google update post about this? Add some keywords for realtors to get found online, and even add an emoji or two with some cool hashtags that are optimized for SEO. So it'll give you an update. It'll give you some hashtags, and you can come down here and click copy and click paste. Where am I? Got a lot of tabs all of a sudden open, right? Now, here's what I want you all to understand. If I'm writing about, I put it to my siding page, but if I'm writing about a waterfront property, you would want to point it to your waterfront property page on your website. If you're a pool company and you did coping and it was a renovation, you want to send it to your coping page. Moral of the story is I'm going to answer that in a second, Jonathan. Moral of the story is you want whatever you're writing the post about, you want to direct it towards a page that talks about what's relevant to your post. Talking about siding, put siding. If you're putting something like, click the learn more button to read our 400 Google reviews, then you would put this to your Google review page. Does that make sense, everybody? I hope. All right. So now the only other thing I have to do is come down here and I say, I want to publish it, and I want to publish it to Project Mapping and click update details. Project is updated. So now what happens is when I'm in my GBP, I'm just going to look at this picture real quick. So now when I come back to Project Map It and I say, I want to view all of them, that's the post right there. That's what I just posted. So it takes like 10, 15, 20 seconds to get there. And then when I click on the learn more, guess what? It's going to take me to that siding page, siding installation. Google loves that. All right. Question Jonathan had was how often? So let's talk about this. Here's another article I found that I think you should all read. It's got a lot of great information. Make sure you add your socials to your Google business profile. You can link like your Facebook, your LinkedIn, your Twitter, all that. This is an article or directions on how to do that. Post. It depends, Jonathan. I've heard a bunch of different things. A lot of people that pay marketing companies will post like once every other week, so twice a month. This article, I think, cites that you should post every 2 to 3 days. I talked to my friend over at Ascend Digital, Mike Stearns, who's a big-time contracting website guru. He said, as often as you want. In the article, it says post more than your competitors. So check out what your competitors are doing, post more than them. So readily and often if you can. So again, maybe the process, everybody, is you're logging in once a week and you spend 30 minutes. 20 of those minutes is you're posting to, you're writing job descriptions. In the last 10 minutes, you're going to put a post to your GBP. Use keywords and phrases. I'm linked to PMI to my GBP, but when I go to my GBP, I do not see PMI as an option under profiles. It's not going to be under there, I don't think, Jordan. So if you are linked to your GBP, try posting like we just did, and it should post your GBP. And we can also talk offline as well. I put things not to do, and I didn't put anything. So I don't know what I was supposed to put there. It is 2:04, and I said I was going to be 5 minutes later, and I don't think you're welcome, Jordan. I don't think I think I've covered everything here, just so that you all have access to it again. I do have the link. I know it's pretty far up on there. So here's the link to the Engage deck. I'm going to put it in the Google chat box or whatever it's called, the chat box there. So you have access to that. This has been recorded, so I'll make sure that everybody gets an emailed recording of it. I hope that helped. Did that help everybody? That's awesome, Jennifer. I'm glad to hear that. You're welcome, James, Brittany. You're welcome, Jonathan. Much love to all of you. We really appreciate it. We're going to keep doing these. We're going to keep doing these webinars. So once a month, we're doing them. If you have any ideas on what you would like to see on the next webinar, certainly let me know, and we'll do that. You can look, if anybody wants to stay on, you're more than welcome to. So Thomas, if you want to ask your question, I didn't even talk about the new updates. I was supposed to talk about the new updates. Bailey, your projects don't, it depends if they auto update or not. It depends if you order material through one of our things. I would say, Bailey, email your customer success manager. What company are you from? And we can have your customer success manager reach out to you. Peter, awesome, man. You guys are killing it, Peter. Holy cow. It's great. I'll need to review it again. Of course you will. That's totally fine, Trish. I agree. It's a lot of information. Awesome, Christian. Send that could show the new snapshot feature. Yeah, I can go over it right now, actually, to be honest with you. For anybody that wants to stay on, I didn't go over the new updates, and there's 3. The first one you can see right away for anybody that wants to stay on, and I'll send this as a recording. Again, I totally respect your time, so you can go. This star, if it's a yellow star, it means there's a Project Map It review on it. We didn't want to put the Project Map It logo because the Project Map It itself looks like a pin on the map. So that's the first thing. Thomas, I'm going to get to you. Oh, we just fixed the check marks, Thomas. So there was a problem, everybody, that when you were check marking the box Atlantic Blue, here, I'll refresh the map. When I check marked the Atlantic Blue box, it wasn't showing the check mark, but the map was still changing. We saw that the other day and we just finished it. Brian, I'll answer you as well. I think that's what you're asking, Thomas. Let me know, but it was fixed and it was updated today, this morning. That was the first, the yellow star. The other thing is under categories. A lot of people wanted to be able to organize. Like, I don't know if everybody knows this that are still on, but you can organize your top level categories just by dragging them. So if they're not in the order that you like, by default, I think the order is chronological by alphabet. But you can move and drop them in any order that's going to help tell your story better. What we didn't do in the past was the subcategories you could not reorganize again, gross, sorry. But now you can reorganize the subcategories. So if there's a subcategory that's more important than the others, feel free. Awesome, Thomas. Feel free to organize them. And then the third one is, and there are a couple tweaks that we have to make that I saw. So I do want to show this right side is different now, or it can be different. I think this is old, and what we're doing now is cooler, to be totally honest with you. That's my biased opinion. But under map settings, and there's a video on the PMI channel, under map settings, under how your map will work, if you scroll down just a smidge, project map at list view, you can change it from the address list view to the card list view. It gives an explanation. You always have to scroll down to the bottom, click the blue update button. But this is what it looks like, and I'm going to go over some other things. So it now says featured projects. So by default, it can show featured projects. If it has a Google review on it, it'll say a G or an F if it has a Facebook review. If it has a Project Map It logo, it means there's a Project Map It review. So it kind of tells you if there are reviews on it or not. Everything here needs to have a photo that you, the company, uploaded. If you wanted, you can open up the pin this way still by clicking on the teardrop pin, but you can also either click on the image or the link here. So it'll open it up, right? And just to prove, let's hope it works, but this says there's a Google review on it. If I scroll down, there's that Google review. Okay, now the way it works, everybody, just to kind of give you a little snippet is, think about it. We needed to have a section for featured projects, because if you didn't have any featured projects assigned, this would just be a white space. So in projects, in the red gear wheel, oh man, did I lose my internet? Can you all still hear me?
I can still hear you.
Okay. It says there may be an internet problem. My internet's been spotty, and I was like, oh my gosh. And do you see a white screen?
Yeah, you seem good.
Well, it's not loading, so that's what I'm concerned about. Let's see. Still saying 0 projects. Oh, I may not be able to continue, everybody. Let's see. It's only saying 35 projects. Am I in Project Map It? I have 1,500 projects. Well, that's because of the filter. So let me clear the filter. Okay. So if you click on this, the red gear wheel, and scroll down, there's an option that says featured project. So any of your best projects, you can make it a featured project. The way it's supposed to work is when I go in here, if I want to look at a colonial slate roof, if there are pictures of any colonial slate roofs, it will populate here. It will tell you how many total colonial slates there are. Weatherwood's a pretty popular one. So let me click Weatherwood. There's probably more than one Weatherwood, but maybe not more than one picture. See, it says there's 13 Weatherwood projects we've done, but only one of them has pictures. So this gives your sales team a quick way to show it. And then Brian, you did answer. Can you explain integration with Company Cam? I can. Did everybody, and Maria also? Oh, okay. Yeah. Kelsey, did that work if you're still on? Is that okay enough? So that's kind of the gist of it. Again, we have a group called Pat. Maybe you can get the link to PMI users group if anybody's not a part of that. Okay, cool, Kelsey. Now, Company Cam, just to be very clear, here you go. If you click on online support videos, because I can't do total justice on this right now, but if you scroll down just a little bit, adding photos manually, there's, do you use Company Cam? If so, watch these videos. So if it's already connected, you don't need to watch this, but you might want to. Good video to watch first. I think it might talk about collaborators. If pictures were taken by collaborators of yours, it won't push the photos over. So watch this. You just have to, you can still, a collaborator picture, you can still download from Company Cam first and then upload a Project Map It. if we've already connected your company cam account, you don't need to watch that video, but how to use the integration is here. And the question was, no problem, Kelsey. The question was how to use the integration wisely. Here's what I'll tell you. It depends on the total number of jobs you're doing a month. And you just have to put it in the process, meaning asking your sales team, your project managers, whomever is closing out that home that's taking pictures. There are a few ways that people use it. If you're in the field, you can be on your phone. It tells you right here, using your phone, like how to sync to Project Map It from Company Cam with your phone. So you can literally click on this. It's going to take you to our YouTube page, and you can tell people like, hey, just watch this video, and I want you to start pushing nice photos over to Project Map It from Company Cam. So one way to do it is literally every time you close out a job, just make sure your team is taking like 2 to 4 to 5, even one good after photo of whatever that is. If you're a realtor, the job client, maybe it's a picture of the client. If you're a contractor, obviously the finished product of whatever it is you installed. And then you just push it over. Like it would take your team in the field 30 seconds. Like they log in, they click 5 of the 100 pictures that they want to push to Project Map, and they tag it, Moray Black Roof, done. It's that simple. A lot of people, though, I would say 80% of our clients just do it in the office. So they'll open up Company Cam and they'll just literally log into Company Cam once a month and go through pictures and just push it over to Project Map It. So that's another way. Again, we can problem solve and get a meeting with your customer success manager, which is either Ashley or Pat. It could be me, could be Perla, but probably Ashley or Pat, and they can take you through a training on this. But I bet you if you watch these, you'll be able to get a really good idea. Did that help, Brian? Did that help, Maria? I hope. If you're still on. Still 29 people on, an hour and 15 minutes later. Why not, Maria? Talk to me. If you can unmute yourself, I don't know. Can I unmute you? I don't think I can unmute you. I can't. No problem, Brian. Okay. Tell you what, here, Maria, if you want, I don't think I have much else after this. So if you want to give me a call and we can discuss, here's my phone number. All right. Any other questions? Much appreciated, everybody. Have a great day. 28 people stayed on for the whole hour and 15. That's awesome. Take care. Bye. You're welcome, Kelsey. You're welcome, Maria.